Yo, hey, this shit easy, nigga. Hey, all I'm talking about, nigga, I'm still out here trying to get it.
Contender Regime, boxing, checking back in with y'all, man. What's happening? Back at it again, another Monday morning, man. We're going to get it popping. You know what I'm saying? I hope y'all having a great day. Hope y'all have an excellent and productive week. You feel me? So, Erickson Lubin, what was it like? It was sometime last week where he did an interview with PBC. You know, PBC been doing an Instagram live with pretty much, all their fighters, and really just keeping a buzz going for the guys, and just giving some insight on how these guys have been handling the pandemic, and what they're working on, training, and just what their plans are going forward once the pandemic is over and boxing is back. And they interviewed Erickson Lubin, and it was a really good interview. He talked about his defeat versus Charlo, what he learned from that, how he's been focusing on coming back, the type of things that he's been working on, his relationship with Coach Cunningham, and working out down there in Florida and just getting sharper and growing and just getting better and honing his craft all the way around the board, and I really believe in Erickson Lubin. I think Erickson Lubin is a very, very, very talented fighter. I think Erickson Lubin is one of the most talented guys in the sport of boxing. The fight against Charlo, it was just a little too early for him. The guy was 21 years old, hungry, and had a lot of confidence in himself, and he went in there against a prime seasoned guy like Charlo, who was just at that level. At that time, he was just on a whole nother level, and Charlo was poised for really anybody at that time, and right now he's only getting better. He's still in his prime right now. This fight was 2.5 years ago, something like that. So actually that fight was like 3 years ago, because at the time he was 21. I believe Erickson Lubin is now 24 years old. So I don't think that was enough to write Erickson Lubin off. I mean, it was a first round knockout, one punch knockout. We really didn't even get a chance to see the type of game plan he would have versus Charlo, or what type of, how he would be able to fare versus Charlo, skill for skill and talent for talent. I think Erickson Lubin beats a lot of these guys out here, and especially if he's learned a lot from that Charlo fight, as far as, being sharp on defense, understanding when to throw, not to throw, understanding, how to put yourself in the best position to win, and, how to compete against elite talent. I definitely think he'll be able to beat a lot of these guys. I think Erickson Lubin is one of the most talented boxers in the sport. And all it's going to take is for his skills, his work ethic, and his mental to catch up to that talent, because he got the talent is there. And, he mentioned that he wanted to fight Tony Harrison coming back. He said that Tony Harrison is the guy that he wants to fight. He feels like that'll be the fight that'll put him in title contention. He feels like that'll be a great step-up fight for him to get a name like that on his resume, and to kind of, be a measuring stick on where he is right now in his career. He mentioned that the two guys that he wants is Tony Harrison or Charlo. Of course, it will most likely be Tony Harrison before Charlo. He also mentioned, the idea of fighting Julian J. Rock Williams. I mean, he pretty much really want to take on anybody right now. He's poised for a title shot. He really wants to get another title shot, and I believe that once he does get that title shot, he got a great chance at winning. He got a hell of a chance at winning. I think right now at 24 years old, he's really ready to start taking on top competition. I think the first guy to start with would be Tony Harrison. I think that's a good matchup for him. Somebody who can really do a little bit of everything. They got power. They can box. And it really showed me where Erickson Lubin is and how much he's progressed. So, I just want to kind of speak on that. Don't write Erickson Lubin off. This kid is one of the most talented fighters I've seen in the game right now. So y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments. How y'all feel about Erickson Lubin. How do y'all rate him? And, who would you like to see him fight coming back? How do you see his career unfolding after taking an early loss, a knockout loss to Jamel Charlo? Contender Regime, boxing. I holla at y'all boys, man.